What if that thing that you've been hiding is the exact thing that will set you free? I am going to connect with the librarians and do a solstice reading for the summer solstice that will help you lean into that will help you transcend your fear and expose, bring into the light that thing that needs to be birthed right now, that thing that you are terrified of that will actually set you free. So relax, ground yourself. hmm All solstices are special. And while all solstices are special, this solstice is especially prevalent. And the word is prevalent. It's prevalent because so many of you are stepping through the gate at the same time. It is prevalent in our society that we shall all be stepping through this portal, this gate, this solstice in order to face our fears. There There has always been fear on the planet. There always will be fear on the planet. Fear is a normal human emotion. And what we want you to know is that while fear is a normal, natural human emotion that you all will feel, fear is something that becomes larger, and in its growth becomes inauthentic. Fear is something that will keep us safe, but collective fear, when things get larger and we feed into that fear, it becomes a false bubble that prevents us from moving forward in life, in society, in career, in relationships. What is being asked of all of us, of all of you during this solstice season is to pop that bubble of fear, is to lean into exactly the thing that scares you most. Because when you do, what you will see is that fear is not real. There is no authenticity in that fear because fear is here to keep us safe. And when you lean into the things that scare you, when you pop that bubble, you will find what is that small nugget that you do need to do to keep yourself safe and what is rhetoric. There is a lot of rhetoric on our planet right now that is designed to incite fear. There is a lot of rhetoric in the workplace right now that is designed to incite fear. There is a lot of self-talk right now that is going on, that is designed to incite fear. We are shining the light this solstice on that fear. We are shining a light on that internal fear. For when we have internal fear, that's what feeds into the collective fear, whether it's governmental, whether it's workplace, whether it's in the family arena. It is that inner fear that gets stoked and it becomes resonant with all of the other inner fears of everybody around us, both individuals and the system. What we ask for you to do this solstice is to shine the light on that inner source of fear, to lean into that fear instead of to resist and to move away from. It's not that you are cultivating love from fear. That is too simplistic. It is actually facing that fear by moving into that fear. And it's only when we move into that fear that love will happen. It's not that we necessarily have to choose love by suppressing the fear. It's that we choose love by leaning into that fear and by not letting that fear stop us. So the solstice, this season, it's about stepping into the sun. It's about stepping into the light. It's about stepping into that fear. And when we all do this collectively, when it is prevalent that all humans are able to face that fear and step through that internal door inside, that internal door stepping into the fear, that's when the collective fear releases its hold on us. That is when the collective fear releases its hold on us, when we are brave enough to lean in to all of the things that create fear inside. There is so much fear of being seen in that bravery. And that might feel like a conflicting statement for what you might be thinking in your head is, but don't I want to be seen as brave? Yes, you do. But the fear is, I don't want to be seen as stupid. The fear is, I don't want to be seen doing something that then blows up in my face. I don't want my mistakes to be revealed. And that is that hook. That is that catch. I don't want my mistakes to be revealed. We have all made mistakes. We all will make mistakes. Making mistakes is the hallmark of being human. It is the design on this planet to make mistakes. Yes, mistakes at work, mistakes at home, mistakes in relationships, mistakes with others in society. Mistakes are what connect us. Being visible in your mistakes, is that ultimate fear that is keeping us disconnected and shut down. So what we're asking you to do is allow yourself to be visible in your mistakes, to let those mistakes be seen, which is you leaning into that which you fear, which will unhook you from the collective fear, which will unhook us all from the collective fear. So the energy from that collective fear bubble, it's not that it even dissipates, it pops, because suddenly we are united in our mistakes. We are united in our misgivings. We are united in the fact that we have fear that we are all leaning into. This solstice transforms us individually and collectively in ways that only we can allow. So whether it's on the actual solstice this year, or whether it is something that you lean into over the next series of weeks or even months, our challenge, as well as my Laura's personal challenge, is for you to be seen in your rawness, for you to be seen in your mistakenness, for you to be seen leaning into the things that scare you with a willingness to blow it. It's that willingness to blow it, that willingness to be seen as failing. Because when you are willing to be seen as a failure, when you are willing to be seen as not good enough, when you are willing to be seen in a shame state, in an unhinged state, in a sad state, that's where your power lies, because nothing can be taken away from you then. When I can be seen at my worst and still held and still okay, there's nothing that I'm afraid of. And that's the power of unity. That's the power of oneness. That's the power of all of us supporting each other and seeing each other and not shaming or judging or blaming each other, but just nodding in that simple, I see you too. And here am I, raw and mistaken and hurting as well. Happy solstice. It's my deepest wish that that spoke to you on a visceral level. And that whether you are new to channeling or you've connected with channelers throughout your whole life, that this struck something inside of you and that this has elevated your level of bravery and that something changes. And that even if you are not the one to lean into the doing of something new, that because of the collective willingness to be seen, willingness to step into that light, that it impacts and shifts you. Thank you so much for being here. A happy solstice. And I would love it if you shared your stories with me afterwards about what shifted, what came up, what fear do you have? And I will see you next month, if not sooner. Take care. Bye.